Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffery Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffery Combs. It is More Heart Than Talent Tuesday. Remember that term, More Heart Than Talent? That used to be what the call was on a Tuesday evening. It is now the Golden Mastermind Podcast. But back in the day, back in 1999, this started off as a live conference call hosted by yours truly, Jeffery Combs, at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday night, with as many as 1,000 people on that live conference call back in the day. A lot of attendance going back today. If you go to my website, you can find some of the original podcasts and an interview with Jim Rohn that I did back in the day. Danielle, I do want to speak to you. And Danielle, great to have you here. Josh tells me you're crushing it, Danielle. Reach out to me, give me a call soon, or send me your number. I do want to speak to you. So if you can, 209-649-1562. Joshua, good to see you this afternoon, and I understand you were crushing it. Danielle, Josh sang your praises to me, tell me you are crushing it, so thank you for being here this afternoon. And Joshua, thank you for the GOAT. Aaron, good to see you this afternoon, good to see all of you. Some of you I will meet in person in less than 2 weeks. I am absolutely inspired for that. If you are a coaching client or you aspire to be a coaching client, you can attend the Millionaire Blueprint event next Friday and Saturday. I have some very special guests that are going to be dropping in. I have been a world-renowned speaker for 27 years, so I have a deep database of world-renowned speakers who come to my events, and I am proud to announce that Robert Butwin, who wrote one of the most unique books on network marketing back in the day, Robert Butwin wrote the book Street Smart Networking, and I actually just ordered 2 copies of the book. I'll bring it. Robert wrote the book Street Smart Networking in 1994. Robert is the only person I've ever met who's received 10 checks at one time from multiple companies. Robert definitely understands multiple streams of income. And for those of you who've heard of the musician Prince, Robert used to own a nightclub in Minneapolis where Prince in the 70s played for Robert in his nightclub along with Sheila E. and Morris Day of the time. So Robert's a very eclectic person. His parents also owned a leather jacket company that athletes would use their leather jackets. It was the most popular. It was called Butwin brand. I had one in high school. So Robert Butwin will be attending the event Millionaire Blueprint. He's a very low-key multi-millionaire, but he will be attending the event. And he creates multiple streams of income. He's coming to support me. So those of you who come to the event, you will get to meet Robert, a man who used to have Prince and Sheila E. and Morris Day in the time in his nightclub back in the 70s. So good to be here with all of you. And I did see recovering Dr. Rachel. Rachel, raise your hand there. Let's give Rachel a big hand for medical freedom. Rachel walked away from very challenging times in Canada and is crushing it in her enterprise in Canada. I want to say hello to Alexis, Jared, Danielle, Aaron, Joshua, loyal followers. Thank you for being here on today's Facebook Live. So back in 1998, I produced this product right here. This was originally a 6-cassette audio program called Mindset Consciousness. That picture is me in the French Riviera. That is me in the French Riviera in 1985. I took that picture with a self-wind Olympus OM1. I was a black and white photographer in college in the 70s. I had an Olympus OM1 camera. I traveled the world with it, and that picture is on the cover of that. That is an HCD audio program. I believe you do have it in your back office. If you're a coaching client of mine, listen to that content. So mindset, consciousness. Consciousness means the quantum field. Mindset is where you are right now. So right now, let's say where your vision is right here. I'm going to be covering this content very soon. It's called signal to noise, right there. Signal to noise. And signal to noise means your signal that you're sending. And if you have noise in that signal, then you're going to be in a contradiction. But when you're in high vibration, when you're in transmutational energy, when you're transmuting from love, bliss, when you're transmuting from power, when you're transmuting from source God, when you are releasing and letting go, when you're in the flow, your signal is very clear. You have 18 hours every day. So most of you are going to sleep 6 hours or so. A producer will have 18 hours a day. So you should have 3 directives in a day. This should be your mindset. There should be 3 purposes you have a day in your business. So here are my 3 purposes. I'm a success and addiction coach. So purpose number one is service and value. I deliver service and value to my coaching clients. I do that all day long. Number two is I practice lead generation. I'm constantly creating leads. Leads are the lifeblood of every business. Number three, as I'm creating the traffic, I'm creating the money, the commerce, I'm creating the flow. So those are the three focuses that I focus on. What are your three focuses 18 hours a day? You want to understand that. This doesn't mean you work 18 hours a day or you produce 18 hours a day, but your energy in that 18-hour day, you should have sexual transmutation. That means the energy, not sexuality, but the sexual energy, which is kundalini energy. It's the energy that you're transmuting from your lower abdomen and your groin. That's your attractor factor. That energy is cut off when you're thinking, processing, analyzing in your left brain. When you are in both hemispheres of your brain, this is your right brain and your left brain. Your limbic brain, your left brain. When your left brain is traumatized from 4 different levels of trauma, sexual, physical, emotional, and generational, any one or a combination of those 4 traumas cuts off your chi, it cuts off your kundalini, it cuts off your transmutational energy, it cuts off your sex energy. Your sex energy is your love. That's your love, the joy that you exude, that energy. So and if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill covers this. Transmute your sexual energy. It has nothing to do with bathing suits. It has nothing to do with fitness competition. It's everything to do with the energy that you are transmuting. And if your energy is not transmuting from a high vibration of consciousness, which would not be anxiety, fear, and doubt, but the transmutation of I know, I understand, I'm in truth, I trust, I believe, I'm certain. So if you're in doubt, your transmutational energy will be very low. You'll attract your reality perpetrators, violators, non-decision makers, people who can't make a decision, and primarily people who will waste your time. And if you're stuck in this loop with this, then you will not be able to be compensated in a business. And it's important that you grasp this like RFN right now, today, this afternoon, so that your mindset is focused on purpose. And your purpose is what you're in business for. So your purpose is to create service and value that creates money, that creates a financial proposition. Your purpose is to be able to transmute that you're good enough. But if you're transmuting that you're not good enough, you're in a mixed message, then you'll attract your reality, people and situations that will fill the low vibrational energy of not feeling or being good enough. And then you'll be disappointed, frustrated, which is the payoff. And it's also important that you realize that this is a process. Nobody grasps this overnight. Ask anyone that goes to a 12-step meeting. Greg Woolley, good to see you. And so we're all dry drunks when we get sober because we had a lifetime of addictions. I mean, if you're as crazy as I was threatened to get 50-51, psych warded, suicide attempts, rock bottoms, homelessness. I mean, you don't have to go that far, but I did. And I went to a series of rock bottoms, depressions, depravities, hopelessness, in and out of jail, on people's couches, beat up cars, bad neighborhoods. Now my parents were affluent. Then people couldn't believe that I, who's an all-state athlete, would drop all the way to this rock bottom. Well, they did not know the level of trauma that I had experienced as an athlete in other situations in my life and how much I'd repressed those feelings. Repressed feelings creates rage, it creates anger, it creates frustration, it creates disappointment, it creates low self-esteem. So the ego will then try and force itself above those repressed feelings, and what happens is the breakdown happens. And this is why you get so frustrated when people don't buy from you, because your body is holding on to the trauma from the repressed feelings. So it keeps you in a mixed message, and you don't overcome it, you let go of it. So this is when you have the juice and the edge, but you're not getting paid for it, which then pisses you off. And see that being pissed off then affects your bladder and affects your prostate and other situations. And this is why it's important that you understand mind-body connections as you are practicing the skill and the art of letting go. So this afternoon, you still have an opportunity to be and stay in business. When you finish my Facebook Live this afternoon, take the long, deep breath. Go into your relaxed body. Create commerce this afternoon from feelings of love, joy, and bliss. Be able to transmute that feeling of ease rather than being forced. And don't have commission breath when you're speaking to people. They know you're desperate when you transmute it. If you had a challenging month in July, don't bring it. If you had a challenging month in June, do not bring it into July. If you had a challenge last week, don't bring it into today. Finish today in high consciousness. And Greg Woolley is the poet laureate of Golden Mastermind. If you'll follow Greg, he's on today's Facebook Live. He writes top tier prose, top tier poetry. He is in deep recovery, a Christian like me, and he's a man of gifted words. So follow Greg Woolley. He writes just tremendous content on poetry that's applicable to what we do in business. And he's like me. He's been to many challenging places, but like me, has well over 30 years of sobriety. So anyone that has over 30 years of sobriety, they're legendary. That means that they withstood the gaffe of time without relapsing. That doesn't mean that we haven't had challenging moments in divorce, businesses that failed us, partners that ripped us off, stole from us, mistakes we made, multitude of situations, but we bent but never break. But here's what we learned. We learned that there are no more cheat days, and that's what you want to be able to do with you. You want to stop cheating yourself out of being your best self every single day. That means it's important you stop brooding, pouting, letting go of being sensitive and defensive, and that your focus is on these 3 directives every single day. You have 18 hours a day to be your best self. And that can be reading a book, that can be whatever it is that's you, but you have 18 hours every single day. And this is what Steve Jobs was famous for. He was very famous for a concept called the signal to noise ratio, that he just didn't break down, that his signal was so strong that he attracted to his reality the team that brought his vision together. That's what you want. That's what your purpose is right now, is to bring the team together for the vision that you hold. And that vision that you hold, you want to direct that at being able to cross the bridge in higher consciousness. You want to be your best self one day at a time. You want to be able to create the commerce that you require, not to pay your rent, but to live a good life. When you're focused on paying your rent, that's what you get. You get the money to pay your rent. When you focus on living a good life, you begin to attract the money that allows you to live a good life. But see, what you focus on expands. And this is why so many people, they focus on their bills, and then what they get is a $4,000 month instead of a $40,000 month. This is truth. This isn't false. This is what so many people do. When you worry, you attract your reality to the very situation you seek to avoid. That fulfills the neurochemical craving of being disappointed and frustrated, which becomes the payoff. As you begin to understand this reality, then you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. This is why, as you learn to let go, the most important skill you'll ever learn, more important than prospecting. Now, sales is the highest paid profession in the world, but you'll never get around to closing sales until you learn how to let go. Because letting go allows you to separate your feelings from the events that shape them. You can sit there and make 500 cold calls and get nothing from it, because just calling people is not the answer to success. Being able to connect with people, being able to let people go, being able to attract people you can be in business with is the key to your success. So long-term vision, short-term results. You have a long-term vision, but you focus on short-term results right now today. So you finish today, you don't pack the day in. I mean, I finish every single day. And I do business after 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and Saturday or Friday night, 10 o'clock. Someone contacted me at 10:30. I wrote up an order at 11 o'clock in the evening. I mean, that's open OFB, open for business. That's what you want to be. You want to be open for business. You have 18 hours a day to be your best self, and that's a component of it. And when you have that energy, so a thought becomes a form. So when you worry, that thought becomes a form. Now you've cast that into the universe. So what you're worried about will continue to expand. That's also when you live in prosperity. When you have prosperous thoughts, that also becomes a thought form, which then becomes the way that you will attract your reality, more quality, like-minded success seekers. But when you're in fight or flight, what you are is you're in that reptilian brain, and you're seeing lions and tigers. You're seeing worst case scenarios. Your ego is looking at, oh my God, I can't pay my bills. How am I going to pay my bills? When you worry about this, it just continues to expand. Your focus is on being your best self. What service can I perform today? How can I bring my best value today? Did you take a walk today? Did you exercise? Did you make your bed? Have you eaten holistically today? Is today a cleanse day, a detox day? Are you fasting today? These are the situations that will assist you to be your best self. And rather than eating bad food and all the other situations that most Americans continue to perpetuate. Did you smoke marijuana this morning? I mean, if you did, what did that do for your brain fog? I mean, it would continue to enhance the brain fog you already have. Did you eat fast food today? If you did, what is that doing to your gut? I mean, it's doing exactly what it will do. That food isn't even real food. That's genetically modified organism that passes off as food, that strips the flora of your gut and keeps you sick. And this is why it's so important that you treat yourself well, that you have a better understanding of why you do what you do. Did you meditate today? Did you exercise today? Did you make your bed? See, these are the simple disciplines. If you cannot make the simple disciplines, how can you do the challenging ones? You can't. You'll continue to recreate the same situation to fulfill the same neurochemical craving that keeps you doing the same thing over and over. And this is why it's important that you are self-inspired, that you take a moral inventory of yourself, and that you become honest with yourself about your half-assed attitude, about your lack mentality, about how you're not really putting the proper energy or insight into your business enterprise. Being a millionaire is not that difficult. What is difficult is to overcome your past that you continue to hold on to. Your past will continue to haunt you until you're skilled at letting it go. If you're continually carrying chronic debt, if you're a chronic debtor, that's a whole money issue that you have not resolved, which is a deserve issue. And if it's deeply embedded, if you have challenges closing sales, it's because you don't feel you're good enough. I mean, these are the situations that it's important that you address in step 4 of any 12-step program. It's called letting go of denial and letting go of the trauma bonds you hold on to, and taking a moral inventory of yourself without criticizing yourself, moving into higher consciousness and learning the skill set to be your best self, to be an entrepreneur, to be self-sufficient, self-inspired, so you're not trading time for money, trading time for dollars, so you can become skilled in insurance, real estate, network marketing, direct sales, influencer, affluencer, any multitude of business ventures where you have a value proposition, where you can bring your highest value into free enterprise, then you can command a price for it. Sales is the highest paid profession in the world. The more skilled you become at it, the higher the law of averages that you will begin to attract to reality quality, like-minded customers, clients who have a higher net worth than what you're accustomed to. You'll begin to attract to reality people who have influence and affluence. They have a database. They will give you referrals. They will bring their team and their teammates to your business. I mean, this is what you're seeking. You're looking for people of influence and affluence that you can partner with. That is called leverage. And the more leverage that you have, that is how multiple streams of income happen. This is how multiple pay begins to come to you. You require money in motion, where every single week money is coming to you from the effort you put forth last week, the week before, and the week before that. That is called the compounded effect. This is why I do so well in business, because I am so consistent. I'm so disciplined. These are the two most important components of your business, your discipline and your consistency. That is the repetition and experience that will allow you to become a professional. I've been closing sales since I was a teenager. I can do it backwards, upside down in my sleep. I can have a conversation with anyone and be able to discern real quickly, is this a qualified buyer, a non-qualified buyer? Is this someone who has money or credit? Is this someone who is who sees the value of what I'm selling and offering? I mean, this is what you require doing, is having that deeper understanding of people's predictability, why they buy, what they do, what they say, how they speak, how they communicate. When you ask someone a question, they don't answer the question. That is a telegraph. When you ask someone a question, they start telling you a story, that's a telegraph. It means they're telegraphing their feelings. And as you sit in the middle of that conversation, you can read the situation for what it is. The questions you ask are small talk, fact-finding, and rapport building. You're looking to qualify a buyer for your time. You're looking to qualify a teammate for your team. You're looking to see if they are the type of person you are ready to align with. And if they are not, you exit the conversation. And when you begin to let people go, separate your feelings from the events that shape them in a relaxed body, in a non-attached manner, then you are not attached to outcomes. And this will keep you out of conflict. This will keep you in humility. This will keep you in a higher vibrational state. This will keep you focused on what is important to you. The 3 directives that you have. Be clear today on 3 situations that daily are important to you. Like I told you, for me, it's service and value. It's lead generation. It's creating the commerce. That's what my 18 hours a day is devoted to. I break that day up. I take a walk once a day. I walk 4 blocks. I've already exercised. 4 blocks once a day. I have a set time that I eat my lunch, that I'm not interrupted. I have a half-hour lunch break that I eat my lunch. I meal prep. I prep my meals so it's easy. It's very easy. I can eat the same thing over and over. I eat mostly organic. I don't eat any fast food. I eat light and I eat quick. And so I drink a lot of water. I take a lot of supplements, naturopathic supplements. I will detox, fast, cleanse, and do other situations. I take heavy metal products that take heavy metal out of my body. I have naturopaths and quantum healers in my circle of influence that I speak to frequently so I can be my best optimum self, free of brain fog, free of toxic energy that the body will hold on to. Parasites are a whole other situation. That's a whole another level you have to go to be able to rid the body of parasites. It's definitely a commitment and not easy. It takes a committed effort to be able to detox parasites out of your body, but most importantly, out of your brain. Parasites are also a major component of brain fog. Practically everything we eat is parasitical. This is why it's important that you understand this and you begin this process of being able to detoxify the body while also detoxifying your consciousness. So you can raise your level of consciousness so you can attract your reality more frequently, quality, like-minded success seekers that you can partner with to create 6- and 7-figure income results from the comfort of your home in a relaxed body. Breathe, release, and let go. My name is Jeffrey Combs. Thank you for being on the GMS Podcast today. The topic for today's Facebook Live was Mindset Consciousness. As always, if you'd like to speak to me, reach out to me, send me a message on Facebook. Breathe, release, and let go. Have a great afternoon and a great week.